Hi. So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever it might be for you. I'm Jackie. Most of you know who I am, and if you don't, if this is your first time watching me, then I am a spiritual medium. I'm a healer, and I consider myself a energy consultant because I can pretty much tap into any energy that is, anywhere. um, and and that makes me a very sensitive person. But I love teaching others about energy, understanding the concept of energy, or maybe understanding themselves and how they're dealing with energy. And so today in this video, what I'd like to do is explain a little bit deeper by giving some examples of what the Clairals are. So there are 6 different types of Clair energy sensitivities that light workers, starseeds, empaths, etc. have. And I truly believe that as our planet is ascending higher into 5D, that more people are realizing that they actually have more than just one of these abilities. It's very common to have 2 or 3 or even all 6. So let's talk about what they are. And I think the fun part is actually sharing some of the stories, because I have a lot of kind of fun stories on how I noticed that I have these abilities. So let's start with clairvoyance. Okay, so clairvoyance is a psychic ability to be able to see things. What that means is in your mind's eye, so in your third eye, if you're closing your eyes, it's very common that you're able to see images or pictures or symbols or colors. And when you're able to sense and pick up on this, the idea is to not judge it. Don't think that you're just, dreaming. It's common at first to wonder why you're getting, specific images, or maybe you're actually even seeing them with your eyes open. So if that's the case, know that that ability for you is there. And so clairvoyance, being able to see through the mind's eye images, symbols, colors, etc. Okay? Sometimes you might even see like even a whole movie play out, like a video play out in your mind. And that's what that is. So let's see if I have a funny story about that. I recognized that I had clairvoyance the first time I did a shamanic dream journey, and this was back in 2012, and I went from a state of meditation to where I was watching something play out. I was like watching a movie play out in my mind, and it was almost like a dream, but I was fully alert, aware that I was lying on a floor, that I was listening to Valerie Reed strum her amazing shamanic drum, and I'm watching this video play out. That was actually my awakening, was that experience. That's when I realized that I was way more than what I thought I was. So clairvoyance. Okay, so the next one is clairsentience, and clairsentience means that you're able to sense and pick up on things by feeling them. This is the one for me that I noticed first in my journey. I've noticed this pretty much my whole life, that I am able to sense and pick up on the energy of other people, and I feel it inside me. So I could walk into a room and see a person, and if I start to feel like icky, sticky, or stuck, then I know that the energy that person is feeling is the same thing. It took me a long time to be able to understand with clairsentience what was mine and what wasn't mine. With all the clairs, you really do have to ask yourself, does this apply to me or does this apply to someone else? Because it's easy to get super confused. There's a lot of people out there that are going to the doctor or even the emergency room because they think something's wrong with them, and they're actually picking up on the energy of something else. I had numerous occasions that I went to the doctor when I was in my 30s because I was having heart attacks daily, not literally, but I thought I was, because I could feel them. I have felt on numerous occasions how people have died. Being a medium, when a spirit comes to me, the first thing they typically do is show me how they died, and I feel whatever they felt when they died. So if this is something you experience, no, it's not pleasant. But again, you have to ask yourself, is this mine or is this someone else's? And once you're able to discern the difference between that, for me, it made a complete difference in my life. I became a whole new person. Fear went away, anxiety went away. I never suffered from depression or anything like that ever again, because I was like, I am fine. This is other people's stuff. And it opened up my awareness tremendously. A funny story about, not funny, it was quite painful, but I was in Greece one time, and I was staying at an older house that they were renting out as an Airbnb. And in the middle of the night, I woke up and I felt like my bladder had been pulled out of my body. Literally, that's what it felt like. And all I could smell was fish, which that gets into another Clair that I'll go ahead and mention. It's and this one I don't know if I'm going to pronounce it right. Clair Airliance. I don't know how to say that. Airliance maybe. Anyway, whatever. It's the one where you can smell things that aren't physically there, but you smell them anyway. So again, I'm in Greece in the middle of the night in this home I'd never been in before, my first night there, and I get woke up. I feel like my bladder's been pulled out of my body, so that's clairsentience. I smell fish, super strong, the Clair Airliance, however you want to pronounce it for smelling, and I can sense, I see the image, okay, clairvoyance of a man, and I realize that all three of those clairs are being presented to me at one time in order for me to understand who this person is and why this person is there. So, so sometimes it's painful. Sometimes it just feels awful. Now, in the same respect, you can also pick up energy from someone that's actually not bad. You can sense the joy or the love that someone has. So it's not always a bad thing, but again, just know that when you are dealing with something that's not pleasant, that doesn't feel good, or that has pain, just remember to discern whether it's yours or not. Okay, let's go into claircognizance. So claircognizance is when you have a knowing. It's like you just know something, but you don't know why you know it. This is the one, in my opinion, where most people ask questions and they're just like, I don't get it. And then they doubt themselves because they get the information, which is coming in from their higher self, their angels or their guides, and they don't know how they got this information, especially if they're not familiar yet with their angels and guides and how their higher self communicates. So it can be challenging when you're first picking up on claircognizance. I think I noticed the claircognizance first when I was doing card readings, because I love doing oracle card readings, and I would like do a card, and if I was doing it for a specific person, all of a sudden I would just know that this person was experiencing something in particular, and I didn't know how I knew that, but the more you tap into the information that you're getting, the more information you're going to receive. So if you're open to it, then it will continue to come. Okay, clairaudience. Let's talk about that one. Clairaudience is when you can actually hear. I'm trying to think if I know any mediums that can hear as though it's like somebody's in the room. I'm not really sure. Mine is not like that. Mine is like a voice in my head. Sometimes it even sounds like my voice. But most of the time I can tell. It's almost like claircognizance. I know that it's a man or a woman, older person, younger person, a child. I just pick up on that, and I don't know how I know that, I just do. But then the voice, the clairaudience, I just I just hear it, and I can tell whether it's male or female. And usually the age comes with it as well. So that's just a matter of being able to hear. I'll give you a funny story about that. I have a guide that I work with, and the first time that she came in to introduce herself to me, she came through my guides, which I kind of have a rule that if someone wants to come in and connect or channel or ask questions with me, they have to go through my guides first. And if they don't, then I trust that they're probably not from the light, that they're not from good intention. But anyway, so this woman comes through with my main guide and introduces herself, and I usually do get women on my left side and men on my right side, because the feminine energy runs through the left side of the body and the male energy runs through the right. So it's really common that they tend to stand on the side of that energy field. So anyway, she was standing on my left side, and all of a sudden I hear, "Hello?" And I was like, "Hello?" And she was like, "Can you hear me?" And I'm like, "Yes." I just remember laughing out loud, and then I hear like this radio station being tuned, like you hear like the static part of the radio station. It was so funny, but it's like they have to tune into you, and again, keep in mind that when you are picking up on information, it's because they're able to bring their bring their vibration to the same level that you're at. So if you are like really down in 3D, it's not that likely that you're going to be very sensitive and be able to hear the clairaudient part of channeling. We have to raise our vibration, because they can't always come down that far. That's kind of a whole nother topic, but I'll dive a little bit deeper into it. Depending on what dimension, what vibration that the ones are that are trying to channel or communicate with you, they may only be able to come down to 5D or maybe 4D. And so what they'll do is they'll try to prompt and pull you up into those higher vibrations so that you can actually communicate with each other. Okay, so let's see. All right, clairgustance. So clairgustance or gustinance, it just depends on how you pronounce it, is tasting. So that one was the last one for me that I recognized that I had, and it came about where I'm a gatekeeper, and so I have a lot of lost souls or earthbound spirits that come to me to cross over. And I had a woman come to me, and I immediately started to taste almost like copper or metal or something in my mouth. And she told me that she had died of cancer and that she had been on a lot of different medications and things like that that were trying to kill the cancer. And I was tasting, it was like I had a penny in my mouth, a coin in my mouth. But for, you know, at the beginning I was just like, oh my God, what it, like, 'cause it happens out of nowhere. It's not like you're sitting around doing whatever and all of a sudden something changes, right? That's how it works. And I kept thinking, what did I do? Well, I didn't do anything. I'm just sitting here. But again, I would just encourage you, when things like this happen, ask yourself, could I possibly have gotten something in my mouth that I now taste? Or is it more likely that I'm experiencing someone that's trying to channel to me? It's probably that one. I'm just saying. If you're sensitive like me, it's probably that one. Okay, so I'm going to run through them again and then I'll share a few more stories. Okay, so clairvoyance, being able to see images, symbols, colors, things like that in your mind. This is with your eyes open or closed, okay? Doesn't matter. All right, clairsentience is being able to sense and feel in your body something that is not yours, something that is either someone else's or something that they are showing you in order to have you help whoever it is that's bringing this information to you. All right, clairaudience is being able to hear. Claircognizance, being able to know, you just know something. Clairgustance is being able to taste. And then clairalience is the smelling. Okay, so those are the six. You can show them. Yeah, so those are the six clairs. And like I said, if you're just waking up and you're realizing that you have some of these abilities, then think about which ones. Think about what they are and how they relate to you, what you're perceiving them like, and then just know that it's probably going to expand and you'll actually start picking up on having abilities that are more. Like I said, I have all six of them, but when I first started, it was the clairsentience that I noticed first. Oh, Spirit's asking, they're saying, how long did it take? So I started really feeling things. I have my whole life, but I started understanding that it was a gift, back in probably 2008 or 2009, and now it's 2021. So yeah, pretty recent, that it really picked up and all of them became very prevalent. Because now when my angels and guides are coming in and they're giving me information, they will utilize whatever one of those clairs is going to get the point across the best. And if it takes 3 of them, then they'll use all 3 of them. I have another funny story that I just will never forget. So I live in Alaska and I was in my cabin and I live alone, and I was just kind of sitting on the couch one night watching television, and all of a sudden the smell of chocolate chip cookies was in my entire house. And I don't make chocolate chip cookies. I don't make those, and but I am very familiar with that smell because my mom made them when I was growing up. And I'm like sitting on the couch going, why does my entire place smell like chocolate chip cookies? And then all of a sudden I felt a heart attack. And then I sensed a very kind, loving woman that was, and I could see that she had an apron on. I could see that she was standing in the kitchen, that she had a baking bowl with a spatula in her hand. And she was asking me, she was like, I don't know what happened. And I was like, you don't know what happened? And she goes, no, I was baking, and next thing I know, I'm on the floor. And I was like, well, you had a heart attack. And it was, I mean, I don't mean this to sound, because it is a sad story, but it's also, you know, when we die, we go home. So I don't look at death as anything negative or final. I actually look at it as, woohoo! Our memories are now back. You know, we have the opportunity to continue our journey with our spirit in the spirit world. And I wanted to assure her that things were going to be fine, that what happened to her was something that she could handle, and that she was having the opportunity now to go back where her spirit came from, and that she would be able to learn all kinds of amazing and wonderful things when she crossed into the light. But again, the reason I share that story is because it really had a lot of the different Clairs all in the same package. I was able to have the Clair cognizance, the clairvoyance. I could hear her, the Clair audience. I could smell and taste the chocolate chip cookies. So yeah. So and again, I have hundreds, maybe thousands of stories that link to how I have experienced these abilities in my life. And again, some of them are not pleasant. So if you're one of these people out here that is realizing that you have these abilities and that you're suffering because of it, I really encourage you to take time to pause, make sure you're breathing, because your breathing is what keeps you present in the moment. And then step into that observer mode. Because if you're in the present mode of feeling your five senses, then what happens is you're really in the ego mindset of 3D. And you won't be able to pick up on the answers until you get into 5D really. So when you go into observer mode, you immediately like bridge from 3 to 5. And when you're observing, you're asking yourself, what is this? Is it mine or is it someone else's? How does this relate to me? Is this something that I'm able to help somebody with or do something about? Or should I just give them information on who they can go to maybe to find the help that they're looking for? I do that all the time. I'm like, you know what? Somebody else that I know that's a medium is actually going to be way better at this. And I will do that sometimes. It depends. I don't say that I do that all the time, but I've done it a few times if I'm just trying to be helpful. But yeah, so that's what it is. And if you need help, if you have questions about this kind of thing, I do offer consults where we can talk and I answer questions that you have. My website is clairvibration.com. And anyway, I look forward to any comments, any stories that you want to share. You can post them on the video. And if you like it, please like and subscribe to this YouTube channel, and you're more than willing to share. Please do with other people that might be interested in having this type of information. All right, thanks for listening. Have a super day. Bye.